When value disappears, disrespect takes its place. And don't let that happen in your culture. It might be happening around us, but don't let it happen because you must cultivate honor. Have you ever thought about a $20 bill? You can crumble it, you can slap it, you can stomp it, you can find it somewhere, but it never really loses its value because you still want it. And you'll smooth it out because no matter what it's been through, it never lost its value. Well, welcome to another episode of the Leadership Lab. I'm Asbel Montes, and I'm grateful you have taken some time to join me today. From the start, I just want to focus on one thing, and that's you. When the leader gets better, the team gets better. And when the team gets better, the organization, it just begins to thrive. So let me show you something. Have you ever thought about a $20 bill? You can crumble it, you can slap it, you can stomp it, you can find it somewhere, but it never really loses its value because you still want it. And you'll smooth it out because no matter what it's been through, it never lost its value. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the U in value. The golden rule. Merriam-Webster defines it as a guiding principle, a rule of ethical conduct. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Value, it's just 5 letters, but it carries deep weight. If we're not careful, we let outside voices define our worth as leaders. But here's the truth. One small act of kindness each day builds a savings account of influence. What we place value on, it shows up in how we spend and how we save. So let me ask you this. Do you feel valued as a leader? I value you. I hear you. I want you on the team. Do you say that? The way we value ourselves is reflected in how we lead others, because that's the heart of the golden rule. Are you leading from a place of scarcity or are you leading from abundance? Because the words that we speak will shape the direction of our leadership. In the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, the actor makes this statement. You got a dream, you got to protect it. You want something, go get it, period. So let me ask you this. Who's in your circle? Who's in your ear? You need people who breathe life into your dreams. Life givers. They push you. They support you. They challenge you to grow. Set boundaries for the dream killers because they'll get close, but their advice, it always sounds something like this. Are you sure that's appropriate? I'm not sure. That's a great idea, but you're smart, but they always got a big old but. Feelings come from thoughts. Thoughts come from what's spoken to you, over you, and about you. Want to change what you're feeling? I strongly suggest start by changing what you're thinking. Start by changing who's around you. Speak life over yourself. I value me. I value you. I'm not what they said. You are not what they said. Because sticks and stones may break my bones. That's a lie. Know the difference between life givers and dream killers. Dream killers will drain you, leaders. Life givers will breathe into you. So look around you. Who's in your circle? Because your circle, it shapes your story. And let's be clear, your net worth doesn't determine your worth as a leader. Hard investments, they matter more than bank accounts. So be a life giver. Then go find other life givers and chase your purpose together because you are who you surround yourself with. If you're around encouragers, you'll rise. If you're around critics, you'll stall. Not everyone deserves a response. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Some people just won't like you, and be okay with that. Protect your peace and move on, my friends. Because leaders do hard things. Leaders make hard calls, but it's always for the better, for themselves, their teams, and ultimately our clients and our patients. There are three things that I learned from John Maxwell. These are the three things that we learned recently in a coaching session my business partner and I were at. John Maxwell said, I'm working on them in my life and leadership, and today we want to dig in together. So one is, I value you. People need to feel deeply valued. Do your people know you care? Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Number two is, I need you. These are empowering words. Saying I need you puts value into people. It tells your team they're essential. They're not disposable. You want to be an indispensable leader. Think about it this way. Think about how robots, how we're talking about so much with artificial intelligence, the difference between what is fake, what is real. That's kind of what I'm trying to know is what's real, what's fake on AI. I remember posting this morning about something I was reading through and I saw something post up on a social media and I'm like, that looks like AI. That looks AI. And sure enough, it was. But if you don't know what you're looking for, and I'm thinking about individuals, depending upon if you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s, you might succumb. You may not even know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on, and I'm 49 years old. And I'm looking at this thinking something seems a little off with this, or maybe it sounds a little bit like me. I remember somebody did a voiceover. I mean, it almost sounded like me unless you didn't know who it was. I remember my executive assistant called me one day. She said, did you hear that piece of it? And I said, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? That was me. She said, I knew that wasn't you. So I was like thinking, that sounds off. But that is the power of what we're dealing with right now with AI and robots and what is fake, what is real, how do we do it? How do we navigate through it? Robots are being introduced and we're starting to see robotic cars and what's being introduced as well. So it's a new generation we're moving into and it's moving very, very fast. It's moving very, very rapid. We no longer have this time to kind of get adjusted and acclimated to it. It's like we're having to adapt and we're having to innovate and we're having to change and we're having to do that with our leadership right now. So I'm strongly suggesting as we do that, you've got to understand the value. What is value in people? There's still value in relationship. Regardless of all this AI and robots and what we're behind, if we're not careful, we lose the value. The difference between fake and real and what it may do to society and leadership. It's important that we understand that. Robots are fine, but real people matter more. How many people in your organization feel like that? Like they're replaceable, maybe forgotten, especially in the nonprofit world. People are tired. They're tired of QR codes. They're tired of bots. We want a real human. I know I do. Here's the truth. 3, I want more for you because that's value. That's leadership. So what does value really mean? It's actually a verb to consider someone or something to be important or beneficial, to have a high opinion of. A caterpillar, it becomes a butterfly. There's greatness inside of you. So speak to the greatness in others. Tell them there is more inside of you. I want more for you. When value disappears, disrespect takes its place. And don't let that happen in your culture. It might be happening around us, but don't let it happen because you must cultivate honor. Jack Welch's philosophy, keep the bottom 10 or top 10, look at the bottom 10. The bottom 10, they may need to go. That's about clarity. It's not about cruelty. That's what value begins to bring. There's this story that I like about Dan Cathy, and he's the former Chick-fil-A CEO. In the early 1990s, Boston market was growing rapidly, opening new locations and aggressively expanding all across the U.S. At the same time, Chick-fil-A, its executives and board members began to worry. And they gathered in a boardroom to brainstorm how to compete with Boston market's aggressive growth. There were lots of conversations around, we need to grow faster. We need more locations. We need to get bigger. How many have heard that? The energy in the room became more anxious and chaotic until Truett said, Chick-fil-A's founder, who had been quietly listening, slammed his fist on the tables. Everything went silent. And Truett said, I am sick and tired of hearing you talk about getting bigger. What we need to be talking about is getting better. If we get better, our customers will demand we get bigger. It's that one statement that reframed the whole conversation. Instead of chasing Boston Market strategy, Chick-fil-A focused on improving customer service, enhancing food quality, deepening its values and culture, investing in people, and leadership development. What was the outcome? We all know. Boston Market, they eventually filed for bankruptcy in 1998. Chick-fil-A, well, it became one of the most beloved and profitable food chains in America. That is the power of leadership. That is the power of adapting. That is the power of innovating. Don't chase bigger, chase better. When you focus on value, culture, and excellence, growth becomes a byproduct, not a goal. If you want to win, my friends, if you want to win as a leader, value people. That's what I want to talk about today on this podcast. I want us to value people. We can see that around us. We're in a chaotic time in politics. We're in a chaotic time in healthcare. Many of you know that I'm in the healthcare industry. And if we're not careful, we will get focused on, as they did at Chick-fil-A, becoming bigger, or Boston Market, versus becoming better. So I'm really strongly suggesting, or preserving. It's what I'm talking about. If you're in healthcare right now, many of you might be in a protect and preserve mode. And I'm telling you, be in an adaptive and innovative mode, because it's almost like the same thing that Chick-fil-A and Boston Market went through when Boston Market was growing so fast. Chick-fil-A got distracted until their CEO said, stop it. When we focus on becoming better and we value our customers, they will demand that we get bigger. And that is what I'm going to strongly encourage you in leadership, specifically if you're in the healthcare industry. Focus on becoming better, and our patients will demand that we get bigger. So today, if you want to win, value people. Thank you for joining my podcast.